Hi guys. So this is a different kind of video. I've never recorded anything like this, but what I'm gonna talk about is the first experience for me anyway, so I guess it just makes sense if I do this. Yeah, as you may know, I was a contestant on Turkiyes Got Talent 2025. Yeah. And I had made it through the first round to the second round. And the past about 2 weeks, I was actually in Istanbul for the second round, and it already happened. And now I'm back at home. And I thought I should talk about my experiences and my thoughts and feelings about everything around this, because this is something I've tried for the first time in my life. And I have to say that I'm pretty much disappointed, even though I saw it coming, you know. It was kind of obvious, and talking to friends and family about it, everybody has told me, you know, it was just obvious that this was gonna happen. So yeah, deep down I also knew. I'm not gonna give a spoiler right now, but like I knew this would end up like this, because you know, it's a show, they want drama. I guess. So yeah, I saw it coming, but I'm still disappointed, I have to say this. And yeah, before diving deep into my experience and my thoughts and all, I'm just gonna straight up say it. I was eliminated in the second round. And yeah, I'm back at home now. Even though I was sad when I just got eliminated, I'm actually relieved and happy that I did. Because, you know, it's over. I can chill now. I don't have to stress about things that don't even matter, actually, that it just isn't worth it. That's what I got to realize. And yeah, that's like the intro to this video. I don't even know how to do these things, but I'm gonna deep dive into everything now. Yeah, this is down because it kind of got hot in here. Anyway, so a lot of thoughts, a lot of emotions about everything that has happened. But what I really need to get off of my chest is how rigged and unfair this show was. It wasn't even about talent, so I can't even call it a talent show. Like, it's not really a talent show, it's more of a drama show, you know, those dramatic reality TVs. Yeah, that's what they were trying to go for, I guess. And that's fine by me, but at least, you know, don't make it seem like a talent show. Then it's just embarrassing, honestly. But yeah. So first of all, after the second round, when I turned back to Switzerland, I didn't immediately start to practice for my second round's performance, but you know, I started off pretty early, about a month before the second round. So about a month before rehearsals and recordings even happened, I was like in contact with people who, help with the organization, who work there, and get in touch with contestants. And, I had planned out everything. I texted them about my song, like the song I wanted to sing and perform to. And I was like, this is really important to me. Like, I really want this song because I'm going to prepare myself for this one if it's going to work out, for copyright reasons and all. So please check this out. Is this going to work out? And I was told, yeah, don't even worry about it. We're just going to do it right now. It's going to be fine and all, And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I didn't get I wasn't texted back again. So I thought, I guess everything's fine, because if it wasn't, they would text me right away saying we can't pay that, Nobody contacted me about that, so I thought that's fine, I guess. And then I started practicing. I made choreos, some parts, because what I did for the second round was singing and dancing, and I had prepared some choreos for that, and I had practiced that a lot with singing live and all, and it was the first time ever for me doing something like this, like singing live and dancing, as a single person. So I knew I had to practice this, right? That's what I did. And then about a week before the second round, I got a call and they were like, yeah, you have to come for the second round. And I was like, okay, let me see how the prices are with the tickets. And I got the dates with the lowest prices for the tickets, because I'm not rich, I had to save up for this. I'm just a student who needed to save up for this, and I tried to get the cheapest tickets for my flight. And then we did that, and they asked me only a week before the rehearsals and the actual thing happened, did you choose your song? And I was like, yeah, I had texted you about a month ago that it was this song, and I even asked you to check it out for the copyrights, and you did. That's what you told me. It was another person, though, who texted me. There were a few people that reached out to me, and it was kind of confusing. I had to tell everyone the same things over and over again. Anyway, and then this person was like, oh, I didn't know, I need to get it checked out. And, that was the first red flag there, because about a month ago, that other person told me that they are going to check it out right now when we were texting, and y'all didn't check it out. For 3-4 weeks, you didn't check it out. You know what I mean? And I had everything prepared. Anyway, so yeah, I got mad, but then I was like, it's gonna be fine. And then I bought my ticket and all, and then I went to Turkey. And also, it was about a week before the show, before the second round, I told them that I needed a mic and then in-ear, so I could actually hear myself. Because in the first round, there was a part where I couldn't hear myself at all. And I don't know about that, but later on, when I watched my performance, it sounded horrible because I've never sang it that way. And to be honest, I even thought about them editing my voice, because I kind of know like shows like these. At first I was like, they might be serious about this, but then after watching the show I saw that it wasn't really seriously about talents actually, but more about show, drama show. And then thoughts of editing popped up in my head, and I actually, well, I don't know how much I can rely on ChatGPT about this, but I asked ChatGPT, and these are the things that ChatGPT told me. You can pause this video or just screenshot it, I don't know, but these are the things that ChatGPT has told me. You can just pause or, I don't know, read it later. But yeah, anyway, so according to ChatGPT, there's some editing done on my voice to make it sound worse. And I guess that's possible, it's the industry. You can never trust, I guess. Anyway, this is more about the second round, because injustice was mostly done in the second round for me. Anyway, I told them clearly I wanted a mic and an in-ear so I could hear myself. I told them I couldn't hear myself during the first round in a part, and it sounded horrible. I don't want this to happen again. And they were like, yeah, we're gonna get that. That's gonna happen. And I don't know, I had seen in-ears on other contestants for the first round. I don't know if I saw something wrong, but I told another person who reached out to me, asked me, what do you need? I told that person a mic and an in-ear so I can hear myself. That person told me, okay, we can make this happen. Totally, And then I was like, cool, I can rely on the in-ear at least, because I know as somebody with ADHD, my focus is so bad. One thing happens, my focus is gone. I know that. And I couldn't take my meds for ADHD because it has side effects. And I didn't want those side effects to happen there, So I was like, I'm just going to be on my own, but I'm going to have the in-ear. So I was relieved. Anyway, let's skip to the part where I was in Turkey, in Istanbul. About 4 days before the recording started, the shootings started, they told me that the song I chose wouldn't work because of the copyrights. So that was crazy, because I had everything planned out. I was ready, I had practiced, and I was just so ready for that, you know what I mean? And then that day I couldn't sleep, my whole body was hurting, I had such a headache because I was so stressed out. And I kept sending them songs that could work out with the vibes and energy I was going for, and they were like, yeah, we have to check it out. And I was just so stressed out because 4 days and I had nothing, because they hadn't checked out the song that I had sent them a month ago. Anyway, I was so mad. I was so stressed out. And to be honest, at that point, I was like, is it really worth it anymore? Do I want to do this? Because it really does something with your motivation and also your confidence, because, I felt so ready. I was so confident in my first prepared performance, and then that happened, and it crushed everything for me, honestly. a part of me didn't want to go anymore, but I just went with it. I thought it's gonna be okay. And about 3 days before the shootings, they finally accepted to pay for a song that I asked for, because like I kept pressuring, because the actual pressure was on me. Like 3 days. And when they accepted the song, I was happy, kind of relieved, but still not really what I wanted. Because as I told you, I was so ready for my original performance. And that meant that I had to create like a whole new performance, new choreos and all, and learn new lyrics, this and that. And I couldn't even practice this whole thing like for real because I didn't have enough space, obviously. I didn't even have a mirror to even look at the choreo. I just created because, I'd like to see what I'm creating. It was just all fantasy. Anyway, that happened. I somehow did something, and then the day of rehearsals came. We went there, and the shootings, like interviews and all happened. And then everybody's been waiting to rehearse, and we could rehearse only once, which is also, well, kind of wrong to me. Like, what do you mean we can rehearse only once? I mean, I get it. There are a lot of contestants, but maybe it would have been a better idea to have less contestants, so you could spend more time on the actual contestants you have. But I guess they don't really care. Anyway, on the day of rehearsals, we had to be there at like 9:30, between 9:30 and 10 a.m. And about 10 a.m., my mom and me, we arrived there. And then, the interviews and all happened. And the time I got to rehearse was at about 8:30 or 9 p.m. I had to wait the whole day to get to rehearse once for my performance that I had to create in like 3 days. I was really tired by that time. I was hungry. I was actually starving. That also pissed me off because, I didn't have the energy to rehearse. I didn't want to do that. I couldn't bring myself to do it, but I had to do it. And what was the cherry on top? I was like, so they gave me the mic and I was like, so where's the in-ear? I asked for an in-ear a week ago and they were like, we don't have in-ears. I was like, yeah, but you told me there are in-ears and I told you that's what I need. You asked me what I need. I told you I need that. And you were like, of course. And now you're telling me you don't have in-ears. A day before the actual thing. Not even a day, like the night before. Like if they had told me that when I asked them, I could have maybe done something myself, you know what I mean? Because I know my focus sucks. Like I can't focus. And I know, I've always been scared of getting the red button again because it's so loud, it just messes up everything in my head. I was so scared of that happening in the second round, and spoilers, it happened. And it messed up everything, to be honest. But I'm gonna get there. Let's calm down. I was relying on that, to be honest, because I knew especially this new created performance. I'm not as prepared as before. I was already scared because of that. I was also scared of losing my focus and messing up. But I was like, at least I'm going to have the in-ear. So I'm going to hear myself fully. I wouldn't really hear the red buttons if that happened again. So I don't have to worry about that at least, But then, yeah, that was the cherry on top. I had to accept that. But I was pissed off. My mood dropped even more after that. I rehearsed and then went to the hotel and finally got to eat. And let's just skip to the part where I was on stage in front of the juries and the people who were there to watch. And also, I hadn't noticed before, but right on that day, they told us that it's not the juries anymore deciding about if you pass or get eliminated, but it's the people who watch. They're going to vote for you. That's what they told us. And there were also like two shooting phases, phase 1 and phase 2 in one day. And each phase had 12 contestants, and only 3 of those 12 contestants were able to pass. And maybe if you were lucky enough, a jury could press the golden buzzer or something like that to make you skip to the final right away. And it was time for the show. I got on stage and I started, and things were actually going pretty well, I think. And I had tried to work on my anxiety and panic attacks in between the first and second round. And I think it was better this time with my anxiety and panic attacks and all. But I was still excited. I think that's normal. Everyone was. But I thought I was doing pretty well because everybody was so hyped up, and the juries as well. The song I was singing at first was a song from one of the juries, and she even got up. We were vibing, dancing and all. It was going so well. And then suddenly I heard this loud thing from the red button, and I was gone. All my focus, all my concentration, just gone. My head was actually empty at that point. I forgot the lyrics. I was just it's such an incredible experience, actually. I don't even know how to explain it, because I can't even explain it to myself. Everything was gone, when I heard that. I was so frustrated. I was so pissed off, so mad, and also sad. I felt so sabotaged, you know what I mean? Because why are you, excuse me, but there was no reason to me to press that button. And I generally just don't get it why the juries had the chance to press the red buttons when it was the viewers who were the ones to vote on me, it wasn't even about the jury anymore. So I don't get it. Why are you intervening? That literally messed up my whole performance. And then that also influenced the viewers and the votings. But I'm going to get to that. Anyway, the first red button, it messed up everything. And then I tried to keep going. I actually didn't want to. My body, not even an inch of my whole being wanted to keep going and be there. And thinking back, I should have just stopped. To be honest, I should have just stopped and told them, if you can't even wait until my performance is done, and if you have to do this to me like this, then I'm gonna just stop here and go. But I didn't do that because honestly, when you're on that stage, for me, like that's my experience. I don't know how it's for other people, but I'm so inexperienced in these kind of things. My brain stopped working. I couldn't really do anything. But then the 2 more red buttons just came and flowing. And, it did a lot with my mood, with my confidence, with my motivation. I just didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to sing. And I felt that, like, my body just didn't want to keep going. So my performance immediately dropped down. That's what I felt. Anyway, then it was done somehow. I actually went down to the viewers to like hype them up. That was part of my performance anyway. And everybody seemed to like it. Everybody was hyped up. They were like going with me. Anyway, then I went back on stage, and they didn't really tell me why they pressed the red buttons, except for one of the singers. She told me that I couldn't hit the notes, but I guess that's what you get for disturbing my performance. I'm so inexperienced. It's like my second stage on my own without any in-ears. I felt so sabotaged, and I still feel that way because there were a lot of things that just were wrong, and I told them about what had happened, and I had to prepare everything in 3 days, and their answer was, yeah, you have to be flexible, like, yeah, maybe if I was like professional, and I was flexible, I had prepared everything from the beginning. I had still performed, and I was going actually well until you disturbed me with, I don't know, that red button. I don't even know for what reason, but you seem to be enjoying it, Anyway, yeah, and then, I was like, it doesn't even matter at this point. It doesn't make sense to tell them anything because they're not going to understand anyway. And at that point, I was like, it's probably rigged, It seems so rigged and unfair. And yeah, then the votings happened, and I got a pretty low voting. And then I knew I was eliminated. What did I do then? I don't know. I was like, thank you, bye. And then I got off stage, and then my mom was waiting for me there. We went downstairs, like backstage, I just wanted to rip everything off of my body and just go. I cried, but not because I was sad that I got eliminated, but I was so frustrated because I had to go through all that stress and frustration, and just those mood swings for my performance just getting sabotaged. Like, I actually had worked on it. And yeah, I thought that I didn't deserve it, and I still think that way. But a lot of people there didn't deserve what happened to them. So, yeah, I'm at this part where I'm just accepting, I've accepted what happened and that they're rigged and unfair. Because, there are some things that I've heard from people, like how they manipulate the votes, and also, a lot of contestants were actually reached out to because they're kind of like famous people or known people, and I guess they were promised things, and I also heard things, like them already having decided who's gonna pass, who's gonna get eliminated, what to do, what to say, and manipulating the votings. And thinking about it, it's probably true, like what I've heard, because it makes sense. Shows like that, I at first didn't want to think about that. I didn't want to believe it because it was such a dream for me. But then at some point you wake up, and that was the point for me, where I realized and woke up. And yeah, it was just frustrating. That's why I cried. And yeah, I'm actually really not sad about getting eliminated. But I'm sad about it happening that way, you know what I mean? Because if there's something I can't stand, it's injustice. And yeah, this video is getting so long. I don't even know how I'm gonna edit this and how I'm gonna make this shorter, but I hope I'll find a way. Yeah. Anyway, at least I can say that it's an experience, because I definitely got to learn things. That's what I can definitely say. I can stand behind this. Yeah, I'm happy that I got to experience this, because for the future, if anything else happens in my life, something similar, I know I'm experienced, I'm more experienced, I'm still so inexperienced in all of this, but at least I got some experience. And another beautiful thing is that I got to meet a lot of cute people, and I was able to get new friends, such cute people, such talented people, really. And I know a lot of people were done unfair, but I think we should know that it's not about us and our talents. We shouldn't back down or give up. This is just a start. This is really just a start. Yeah, I was frustrated. I've been frustrated, but that doesn't mean it's the end. Not at all. This is just a start, and I'm just gonna keep going with everything I love. And yeah, that's basically it. I also just want to thank everyone for supporting me and believing in me and sending me love. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. And I'm sorry if I disappointed anyone. I really wanted to be better, but I just didn't get the chance to do better. I'm actually thinking about recording my performance on my own, in my own safe space, without getting interrupted, disturbed, so I can show you my real me and my real talent and all. Yeah. And again, thank you so much. Also, if you've listened until here, thank you so much for listening. Yeah. I don't even know how to end this. Love you. Everyone, friends, family, everyone supporting means a lot to me. Take care. Bye.